Hi, everyone, and welcome to our next edition of Q&A. We're going to be discussing about Microsoft Teams using reading progress, but adding the comprehension piece. My name is Valentin Guerra. I'm an instructional technology specialist, and I dedicate my time to elementary, specifically in FAR. Some housekeeping rules: make sure you keep your microphone muted, and feel free to type some questions in the chat. We have Debbie, Marco, and David Villarreal right here to help us out if there's any questions in the chat. If you have not registered, please do so in the professional development system and just go there and look for session 297415. As always, remember to use the remote check-in code PSJA Tech so you can be counted in our pity system, and we will be having a raffle at the end of this training. So, like in the last training that we had last month, we discussed Microsoft Reading Progress and Reading Coach. And these are free tools that are designated to support educators with students with their literacy and fluency. Now, these tools actually allow the educators to not necessarily spend that much time with each student individually, and it provides you the data and it gives you useful insights for all of your students as a whole group or individually. But we're not going to be training about necessarily Reading Progress and Reading Coach right now. We're going to be talking about how to add the comprehension piece after the student does reading on the passage. So if you do want to go through that training, it is in our YouTube webpage, and I'll be sharing that with you later. So how do we add the comprehension piece after Reading Progress? If you are using the call reads from My View and Mi Visión, if you're in elementary, then you can add the questions that follow up after the passage. Doing though, it will show up after the students reads the program and after the reading coach, and they will answer the questions as if it was a quiz. So we'll be doing an assignment right now. We'll be going through how to assign reading progress, and then we'll be going on how building those questions utilizing a sample from My View and Mi Visión. So this is an overview of last training. Just make sure that you go into your Teams, click on Teams. You will see your classroom in there, and then you will see all your students if you have already accepted. If you have not accepted your Teams class, you will have a bar right here on the right-hand side all across in a lighter shade of purple, and it will have a button that will say Activate. Now, to do the assignment, we'll be going this step-by-steps again right now because we do have to create a reading progress assignment to add the comprehension piece. So you will go to Assignments, New Assignment, then you click on Create, select Learning Accelerators, and if you want to upload from device any Word or PDF, make sure that it's a PDF that is legible. You will do it from here. You can also have a sample library, but the sample library is only available from ReadWorks in English. So if you do have students that are EBs and you need to give them passages in Spanish, you will have to upload it either from OneDrive or from your device from a PDF or a Word document. Now let's go live to Teams. Bring Teams right here, and I'm going to show you real quick how to do it. So like I said, you go here in Teams, and you will see your teams in here. You might have a campus team, maybe a department team, but if you're a teacher, you will see a class team as well. I'm going to be using this class demo technology. Once you're in here, remember I told you will go to Assignments on the left, and you will go to Create, and you will click on New Assignments. Make sure that you remember, look at this right-hand side, Learning Accelerators. You can access them here through Attach, but it's just almost easier. They created this Learning Accelerator tab right here. You will click on it, and you will go to how to add the Reading Progress Accelerator. I'm going to be importing from Word or PDF, but the first thing that I wanted to share is how it looks from the curriculum. So I'm going to exit this one, and I do have all the call reads from 1st grade through 5th grade downloaded in a OneDrive folder. I will be sharing that with you so you can have that OneDrive folder for yourself and just download all those documents. So I'm going to open a 3rd grade call read in English for my view, and I was going to select this activity itself. And we've heard a lot of feedback that sometimes it's hard to do from the PDF. So I'm going to show you the easiest way that I found on how to upload a document and into reading progress. So the best thing will be open Word. I'm going to put this screen in two sides and grab the Word document here so you can see what I'm going to do. When you are using this, make sure that you start right at the beginning of the sentence, of the first sentence, first letter. Don't go any above because you will start underlining more. Let's see. Highlighting more words that you need. Make sure you stop right here at the last period. If you go any more, you will start grabbing those numbers. Anything that you copy or anything that you put into reading progress, it will ask the student to read. So we want to make sure that we just highlight the things that we want students to read and spend time with, and then paste it on the Word document. If you do grab other words, or for example, the numbers, you can delete them here or you can delete them in another step later on reading progress. For right now, I made sure that I didn't copy anything else but the sentences. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to save it as Rip Van Winkle. I'm going to save it here in my OneDrive, and I'm going to upload it from OneDrive in reading progress. It was the easiest way to upload the document is just do it into a Word document and copy and paste it that way. Now we're going to be using these questions for the comprehension piece later on. So now I'm going to go into import for Word or PDF. And like I said, I saved it on OneDrive. I'm going to click OneDrive, and it's going to open my OneDrive. And the last thing that I saved was that one, Rip Van Winkle. Like I said, if there's any other words that you did not need that you do not need for the students to read and they show up here, you can always go here and edit. You can edit and delete or change before you assign it to the students. It gives you how many words that passage has, and it detects the language. Now, if you're doing a Spanish upload, make sure that in here it says Spanish Mexico. That is the accent that we probably are wanting the students to be able to speak correctly so we can understand them. When you do here, we don't know the reading level of this passage, so you can leave it blank. And if you know if this is a fiction or nonfiction, you can select it as well. How many attempts are you giving to the students? You can do unlimited or one. And usually we give the students 1 minute. So I will give 1 minute, and I opt in a time limit cutoff feature that will cut off the student if they go over. Reading coach is here, which is after reading progress. When the student reads the passage, it will coach the student with the 5 most challenging words that they had during their reading passage. After that, it will provide the students with tools on how to pronounce that word correctly, like a speak aloud, a stretch out into syllables if it's a multisyllabic word, and an image for the student to be able to get that concept. So what we're doing now is adding the comprehension piece. This new add comprehension, we're going to click here, and you will see that it's going to create a form for Microsoft, a Microsoft form, like a Google form, and we're going to title it Rip Van Winkle. And this will be comprehension. You can name it or put any directions in here. And then we're going to add a question. If you remember, I'm going to put side to side. The first part were multiple choice. So I'm going to add a choice, and then you can just copy and paste the sentences. And the answers as well. I will suggest to open the PDFs themselves, download them and open them, because it's not extremely friendly in here online. So you're either going to have to read the passage and get the correct answers, or go to the answer page on the poll read section to know which one's going to be the correct answer so you can mark it in here. If you feel that your students are ready for more than multiple choice, you can do all 3 questions. You can select how many points you want to give them. You can keep it at 0, but if you want to do it for a grade, you can go ahead and give them 5 points, 10 points. You can add the next question that will be choice as well. And like I said, we can just keep copy and paste it. Once you get a hold of it, it gets a little bit faster as well. And like I said, I'm selecting here my supposed correct answer. You could also give feedback to the students when you're selecting here, and you can put like, this is not the correct answer because of this, or you can say good job or try again, whatever feedback you want to provide your students. You can give her another 5 points. You can add the next one, another choice. Put it right here. But as you can notice, after the multiple choice, there's also an extended response. So you can provide this to your students if you feel like they're ready. Don't feel like you have to, but it will be a good practice, especially if they're 3rd through 5th. It will be a good practice for them to start typing. It will give a good practice for them for their extended responses that they have for the start. So let's do this. And you can just put the question, and then you can put an answer, or it's a long answer, so the students will provide it here. You can give it 5 points, you can give it 10 points, whatever you feel like doing. So there's only one question after each passage that is extended response, and then there's 3 multiple choices. I think that's good enough for the comprehension. You will go to next, and we'll provide this for the student. Now, to be able to assign it, don't forget that you do have to enter a title, which would be Rip Van Winkle. And then you can give instructions to your students. Please read as accurately as possible. You will have 1 minute to read the passage, and then you will get to practice 5 words that were the most challenging for you to speak. I don't know if you want to say that or not. And then after the passage, you will get 3 multiple choice questions and an extended response question. Do your best. You can give points as well for the reading progress or not, but then you can assign it. Remember that you can assign it now, you can assign it later. You can also assign it to all of your current students, or if you want this to be even future students that you might be getting later, you can do that as well. You can also do individual students. So in here, whoever students are in your class, if you want to give it to a specific student, you can select them. If you're going to differentiate instruction, probably give them different lexile levels to students. If you have students that are struggling a little bit more, maybe you can use the 2nd grade passages with them. So we just click assign and it's ready. Students will get that assignment. It's due tonight at 11:59. Now, let's see what it looks like. Let me sign in as somebody else so we can see how actually the student looks like. I need to go to here. And it will be now to go to Microsoft Teams and log in. As one of the students that are here. Let me see who are my students here. Students. So ES student. All right, so let me sign in. Oh, doesn't let me log in here. Okay, let me just show you the student view that it shows me in here. I don't know if it's going to show me the quiz, but we can try. Because I don't think it advances after that. So this is what your students will see, and you can see them in front of the camera, and they will try here. They only have one try to say, because I only put one try. You can give them multiple try before they submit. They have a minute to read. This is not going to allow me to do it because I'm not actually logging in as a student. Let me see if I can find out. I'm going to find out some permission. Give me a second. Get here again. Let me see if it's this one. It's not allowing me. It says that the student doesn't exist. Let me see. Let me see if I can log in on this way. Perfect. Awesome, I got it. So now let's go to Teams, and students will see them right here. Ooh, I'll see Teams right here and right here. So when they log in, they will have that assignment in there. So this is a student view now. And this is how we start it. And that's how students will get to their Teams on their Chromebooks. If you're in kinder, your students can access it on the app. It has already been pushed to them. So let's do a tryout. Rip Van Winkle was a lazy man who spent most of his time doing nothing. To avoid spending time at home, one day, Rip was tired from a long day of hunting and sat down to rest under the tree. Rip Van Winkle! He heard a strange voice calling his name. Rip stood up when he saw an unusual little man carrying a large barrel on his back.
Rip Van Winkle, help me carry this water,
the strange little man said, grumbling. Rip helped him. They soon entered a clearing where several other little men were bowling. Rip watched for a while. He was thirsty and decided to draw water from the keg. After he finished drinking, he became sleepy and curled up to a nap under a nearby tree. Okay, I'm going to put done. And if I was a student, I should have finished reading. It's just processing the video so I can upload it. And you can see now we get the questions after that. So it tells the student, when you submit the form, the owner will see your name and your email address. So they will click, they will get the correct. And whenever you see in Teams this little book with the speaker, it turns into immersive reader. So this will actually read the question for your student. And let me share my sound so you guys can hear.
1. What is the theme of the selection? 5 points. It is rewarding to help other people. Take the time to take care of yourself. Spend time on the things that really matter. You should be careful about how long you sleep.
So like I said, I was letting you know right here that whenever you see this in any Microsoft product as immersive reader and it will speak aloud to the student, it can also translate it to a different language like in Spanish. So in here, they will be able to answer the questions. Of course, the multiple choice will be automatically answered, but not the extended response. So you will have to go and read and submit it. After they're done with the quiz, then they will get the reading coach with the 5 most challenging words, which was doing, entered, winkle,
These words
bent,
were
and
the most
anything.
challenging for you. Select any word to tackle them again. When you're ready, press the microphone.
See, that's a stretch out. Those are images,
Entered.
and that's spoken aloud. Entered.
You're making your brain stronger. Nice.
Winkle. Van. Well, I said, I guess, with a southern voice, and they still accepted it. Nothing.
That's not quite it.
See, it's
Give
telling
it
you
another shot.
that you still need to think about it.
Anything.
Anywho. Anything. So I'm not going to do all 5, just so you can see the reports. And then I'm going to turn it in. This is what students get. They get a little celebration where they turn it in. And now that I did turn it in, I can see it from the teacher's point of view in here. This should have been returned already. Yeah, this one. So you can see all of the stuff that I missed in omissions. You can see insertions and then what actually was there. If I inserted any words that I mispronounced, I didn't repeat it or self-corrected in anything. That's not a very flattering picture of me. And then it tells you right here what tools that I used to be able to get the word correct, and then how many tries did I get. For example, in anything, I missed it twice before getting it correct. Let me check on the chat and see if there's any questions. No questions. And don't worry, Ms. De La Rosa, this is recorded, so you will have access to it on our YouTube channel soon. Let me go back to my... right here. We'll go back to... So this is pretty much reading progress. We talked about Reading Coach again, and then we added the comprehension. I also showed you the easiest way so you can grab the document and upload it using a Word document. Now, these are the resources that I'm telling you about. I'm going to actually copy this link, and this link will give you access to that resource folder that I was telling you about, the Savage Fluency. So all of you will be able to access them and just make a copy of it for yourself. You only have access to view. Then there's also, we're going to be sharing these slides with you. There's more resources on the recordings. It will take you to our YouTube channel, and there's some resources on Reading Progress and Reading Coach from Microsoft themselves. So the upcoming sessions, we do have our Java chat tomorrow at 7:15 in the morning. Come and join us celebrating one of our techies in elementary. We're going to be interviewing her about what amazing things she's doing. Come and check it out. We also have our last October training that will be this Thursday, also for elementary. It will be on our Unmute and Recharge, where 4 educators will be showcasing tech tools that they use currently in their classes and how they use it. Last thing, I want to thank you for your time and spending time here. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them now. But also you have these QR codes that this one take us to our website, our technology website. This one is our YouTube channel and our social media channels.